Justine and Sheep for Pigs. This recording is going to be based off of what both Rob and I wanted to do. He wanted to do a live stream on this for both of us, and now that it happened last year, I couldn't do anything about it. So right now, I'm going to record the Dark Descent on a live stream for a little bit, maybe an hour or so everything can get through, and I hope I get some good reactions. Alright, everybody, let's get into this game. This is gonna be a... this is gonna suck. Alright, I better turn the lights out. Alright, so let's do this. My little fan. Oops. I hope that's not blowing into the recording. There, maybe that'll be a lot better. Yeah, that should be a lot better.
Christian.
Yes. The world of Amnesia is a dangerous place and you are extremely vulnerable. Do not try and fight the enemies encountered. Instead, use your wits, hide, or even run if necessary. Oh, this is gonna fucking suck. Alright. Is there anything I'm supposed to look for? No. Alright. That is all. Hope you enjoy immersing yourself in the world of Amnesia. Frictional games. Oh god, this is gonna suck.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Ah, it was Sam. Okay. Sam, you still watching this? What's up? Yeah, Sam. This is for Rob, dude. He always wanted to do this with me in high school, so... That is still a little too loud.
Hi. My name is Thomas Grip, and I'm one of the co-founders of Frictional Games. I worked with engine code, gameplay code, design, and many other things for Amnesia. The name of this level is Rainy Hall, and it's supposed to be a combination of atmosphere setter and tutorial for the player.
Fuck you.
We wanted the player to start the game in a slow way so they could settle in and get used to how the game works. Amnesia is not a game with constant action happening all the time, and we wanted to have a constrained map where the player gets used to this. The only thing you need to do is to follow the track and get to the end of the level.
I can't even see. Holy shit.
Also, following tracks is something that becomes very useful in later levels, so we try to teach players this from the start.
The fuck was that? Holding an object, press L1 to throw. Press directional to rotate the object. Awesome. Cool. Alright, cool. I got a tinderbox. Damn it. Alright. So the ship pretender was here. Tender left. Are you fucking kidding? I still can't see anything. Holy shit. Alright, that's a hell of a lot better. Alright, there's one. That didn't do much. What the hell? Alright. So I need to go back down this way. I went down that way. What about that? That made a noise. Okay, that means it's not gonna open. Yay. This room's already lit up. What am I supposed to do exactly? Just light up everything? Okay, there's another tender. Alright, so that's it from here then. Okay, health is good, everything's good. Crystal clear sanity. Alright. Whoever's watching my videos, tell me. Need out. This door won't open. Alrighty. Yeah? Hold up, doing a live stream. Oh, wait, it opened. I hear something. What the hell was that noise? Hey, Rob, you motherfucker! What are you getting me into? Okay, that door just opened. Okay. I go in the closet. I go in the closet. I hide and cry. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. This door opened. Beware when standing in darkness or seeing. Okay. Beware when standing in darkness, your sanity will slowly drain. Turn the lights in the environment using tender box. Oh, come on. This was falling off. Hold up! Doing a live stream. Okay, so now I'm in a new area.
This is one of the first level that we created for the game, and it was initially part of the archives level, which we will reach in a bit. Amnesia started out with a pretty different design, and when we redesigned it, the maps did not fit. So in the first design, after this corridor, the archives level was supposed to follow, and the room lying there now was built much later. In fact, the first designs did not have Daniel waking up with an amnesia at all, and it was actually added later on. In the first story draft, Daniel still had hidden memories, but he was unaware of this at the start of the story. However, as we redesigned things, we found the waking up with amnesia thingy, although a bit cliché, much more fitting.
Okay? It's gone? Is that big old monster gone? That's what I want.
The editors themselves went through a lot of design changes during the development. Not that many in visual appeal.
Hi there, my name is Luis Rodero.
The editors themselves went through a lot of
my name is Luis Rodero. Hi there,
the editors themselves went
Hi there, my name.
The editors themselves went through a lot of design changes during the
Alright,
development.
so
Not that many in visual appeal as in internal
this
stuff,
shit is fucking
like data
scary.
structures and handling.
I haven't
This
watched
happened
most
mostly
of these
because at the
old
beginning we
videos,
only
so
knew
I don't know.
the basic stuff that needed to be in them, and as they grew in features and functionality, they started to kind of fall apart, mostly due to my big lack of previous experience in projects like this. Right now, aloud what the hell still sounds in my head when I look at some parts of the code, but I am still proud of them. They can also get a bit buggy at times, but hopefully this won't happen again in the future, and I already got some nice ideas for the next iteration of the
Let's just
tool.
get the fuck out of here. I wanna touch. What was that? This is getting even more creepier. Yeah, just go through there. Nothing this way. Alright. So I am not finding anything. Besides learning how to throw. Right? Another one. Another 10 bucks. Another throw block. I'm liking this. Wait, go on there. Oh, yeah, fine. Alright. Oh, oh. It's locked. Oh. Okay. Oh, oh. What was that? Hello? That door is open. Hello? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm gonna throw shit. Where did my book go? Where'd it go? What the fuck? Oh. If I find a monster, I'm gonna throw this book at it. I'm gonna put the... What was that? I'm gonna put the book... Fire. What the fuck? Oh. I actually thought I put it in fire. You hear that? I got a book. Torch you with a book. Anything in here? Ooh, it's under. More of them hot bitches. It's under! Oh, there's something else in here. What the fuck is that? Okay then. Okay.
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alex...
I think we can all feel the story kick-starting as we finish the letter from Daniel. The game itself is just filled with confusion, and I think we're really doing the player a service keeping it simple in the beginning. Basically try to take your revenge on Alexander. That is the premise of the game. You don't really need to dive any deeper than that, but hoping that the player will care about the story, they have the entire game in front of them to decide if they think killing Alexander is justified or not. Hello everyone, my name is Mikael, and I'm the writer for Amnesia, The Dark Descent.
Oh, I thought you said... Oh, it's Michael.
Hello everyone, my name is Mikael,
cool.
and I'm the writer for Amnesia, The Dark Descent.
So let's get the fuck out of there. I think I have everything I need from in here. What's this over here? Potion. Yeah, nothing else. Yep. I can't ruin anything. Oh. Oh. Okay, hold down with the right stick. I don't like that noise! What is that? I don't like that noise. Oh! Leave me alone. Yo, fuck this shit. How long have I been live streaming? I've been live streaming for? I don't even know. Okay, it's a big room.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
What the hell?
This is one of the many hub levels in the game, and this is a design concept that we started out with in Penumbra. The idea is to give the player some freedom on where to go, but at the same time give a clear objective. In this level, the slime obstacle is the thing that the player needs to get past, and all other levels then have things needed to do so. The slime itself is one of the few puzzles left from the initial designs, and the one I'm probably the least proud of. Now that slime appears all around, it feels a bit forced that you need to have a potion on the slime. Many testers also complained that they wanted other options in getting rid of the slime, like burning it. However, creating a potion is the central theme for this hub, so we had to let it be. I don't think it's that bad, but we probably could have redesigned it if we had time.
Okay.
The entrance hall was first shown in our first gameplay trailer, and while the layout hasn't changed much, the details certainly have. We build our levels from sets of pieces, in this case, the custom-based set. While the carefully planned set pieces made level building very easy, the levels became very similar, and we had to make special pieces to the levels. Now, 1.5 years later, the special pieces make up about half of the pieces in the custom-based set. We made
If
changes.
you haven't followed our development blog back when it started, you might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. 2 years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. I'd say the level editor, which is what we, or more specifically James, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and corridors you are working through right now, is the big start of the pack. Its workings in a nutshell, while all the models and assets are actually made in software like Maya or Blender, everything geometry-wise in the levels is put together in it. Then lighting and sweet details like decals on fog are added in. While this approach might sound simple...
Hello, my name is Mark Nikander. I'm a 3D artist and level creator at Fictional Games. I started out as a helper during Penumbra Overture, and I was finally hired as a full-time artist in the later part of Penumbra Black Plague.
Yes. Damn. Hi. What was that? Oh, come on. Damn it. More thunder. Alright, so let's try this way down here. There we go. It's locked and won't be open without me. Yay. There we go. Okay, so I'm in a new area. Ah! What was that? What's that? Oh. I saw something. No, I'm just going crazy.
The particle editor is also a fine part of the tool bundle, and it is what we use to create particle effects for maps and events. We use particles to do nice effects like the flames in torches and the smoke that comes out from them. All we have to do is add one or more particle emitters, set up some parameters like starting position and speed, on all sorts of fadings in size, color or speed. It's funny how you can simulate all kinds of effects with such simple elements. I very much recommend you to try it yourself.
It's got burn holes. I feel this kind of shake.
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And one part aqua fortis.
Aqua fun. Alright, so I need to get 400 first. Fuck, my screen is shaking. Tender! More tender! Wait. Oh, they're just models. Alright. Oh, I missed the chair. Come on. One day, long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave their judgment in a safe return. Okay? Okay, so there's no point in grabbing that. Oh, thunder. Man, how many pieces do I got now? Oh, 7, damn. Oh. Logic. Alright, where are these? I better fucking... Nope. Go away. What's in there? No. Fuck away. Oh my god, there's something up there, man. What's it? I hear it. There's definitely something here. Okay. Where's that at? What was that? What? Okay. Alright, so I'm not finding anything else. I still hear a fucking baby crying. I don't like that. Alright. So I went that way. Now it's time to go this way. Fuck, they're trying to go that way. Alright, so I need to go up here. 'Cause I don't think I did go to the R.I.P.
If you haven't followed our development blog back when it started, you might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. A few years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. I'd say the level editor, which is what we, or more specifically Jens, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and corridors you are walking through right
I
now,
can't believe this is the
is the
free
big
game
start
I
of the
want.
pack.
That's fucking
Its
crazy.
workings in a nutshell, while all the models and assets are actually made in software.
Okay.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of later that evening. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men.
That's awesome. I hear something. Fuck you, bug. You sound like a fucking snake out of everything. Still hear sounds. Creepy, I got Mr. Book. I got a book. I got a book. Okay, so what's on this one? Yay, creepy halls. I love them creepy halls. The hell was that? Mr. Chair! I remember you. Nice to meet you, buddy. Oh, hell no! There's something in the store. Yep, this is not so fucking creepy. Yeah, this ain't so fucking creepy. Okay. Okay. Okay.
This level was changed a lot, and I think it's one of the most tweaked levels that we got.
17th of
Not
May.
only was it part of the big
1839.
archives level that we had
My
to
hands
split up,
tremble
but
as
it
I
was
write.
also hard to get
I feel a need
engaging
to
enough.
document my
The problem
tribulation,
here
for I
is that
fear
we
that
don't
my
have
memory
any
will
sort of
fail
fun
me if I
mechanic
linger.
that rely on to make the
Today,
game engaging.
I took some men and
Instead,
ventured
we
into
rely
the
on
dark,
story,
ancient
atmosphere, and
passage we uncovered.
environment.
Our torches
This is
burned
true for
faintly
many
in the
other
murky
levels
air
of
as we
the game as
slowly
a
made
whole,
our
but
way under.
this was
I was
kind of the one of the larger levels that we made, and also one that didn't have much puzzles and such. So when testing it, we quickly get bored with it, and we wanted to add more spooky events to spice it up. But then later on, testing proved that these events weren't that necessary, and we also felt that they were a bit lame and not fitting, so we decided to remove them. Then the back part of the level, we wanted to make that a more linear experience, with the current player getting trapped and all, forcing the player to solve the destroy wall.
Thunder! Now I got wolf bitch. I'm still not finding anything. Besides, like, walking to room to room. Still nothing. I heard something. It's probably just me going crazy. Alright. That was that door. I'm gonna bolt those ways. So down here. Anything down here? What the fuck was that?
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
Things start falling apart.
You're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble, and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Just died. What the fuck?
17th May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
So enchanting. I would have gone nowhere near that.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety. Grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Okay. Yep, I hear sounds. Oh. Ain't that nice? Unless this is way out over here. And that is a no-go. What about here? Done.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
I'm so confused. What do I do? Oh, wait, I see something. Yeah. I'm trying to do something. So I'm not finding anything. Central Kingdom of Prussia? What the fuck? Prussia.
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I've written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
Give me my paper. I got him. Fucking bug. About to be charged. this box. Maybe this box. Come on, Mr. Box. Let's do this. Taking all the books would do it. It didn't do a fucking thing. Oh. There we go. I did something smart. There we go. Actually, doesn't that key open? Oh, this is open. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna go make some brownies because I think someone's starting to crave them out there. Thank you for watching the video. I'm gonna do another live stream maybe tomorrow or something. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great week. Bye everyone.